Hi, my name is Oberaj Kumal. So so here I'm going to present my short presentations based on target data breach, which is definitely related with the assessment tasks too. I'm gonna give some short background what the target data breach was. So it's a breach which was happened in 2013, which eventually affected 110 million customer. The main cause was network vulnerability and network vulnerabilities because of the hackers. Eventually, they planted malware on point of sale devices, and then all the customer get affected. So there was definitely some consequences too. So it cost 18.5 million in settlement, some lawsuits, and improved cybersecurity measures. Yep. And sorry, the the main objectives here is to understand the nature of attack and identifying vulnerabilities and provide future recommendations to stop those kind of attack happening in the future. So basically, we start with the initial assessment and preservations of some evidence, timeline reconstructions, and forensics analysis, vulnerability assessment, incident response evaluations, and recommendations and mitigation. So basically, this is the objectives. Uh, of the key points in the investigations. There are so many key points in the investigations, so I have mentioned a few of them here. So the importance of evidence integrity is that to provide accurate digital evidence for the legal purposes. So forensic analysis includes, uncover traces of the attack, and vulnerability assessment. It identifies security gaps that maybe enable attacking by analyzing configurations or access control. Yeah, these are the key points in the investigation. So uh, here are some plan. Here are some plan for investigating and verifying data. The plans is to like importance the authenticity and integrity of collected evidence. Chain of custody includes the documents, every actions taken on the evidence. It's like step by step wise. And data hashing use, we basically using the hashing SAR 256 or SWA 3, has original data and rehash after investigation. File validation. So we calculate hash value for individual files and maintain hash database. Yeah, these are the investigations and verifying data in the forensics investigation. So I'm going to talk about the investigation overview here. The overview start with the objectives, key step, and post investigation. So what are you going to do on uh, the main objectives here is like to understand the breach, identify vulnerabilities, and implement corrective measures. And then the key step would be initial assessment, evidence collection, and then timeline and malware analysis, vulnerability and network analysis, and data exfiltration analysis, which already mentioned some before previous slides. And then after the investigations, what would be the post investigation? So there would be recommendation and reporting. So its main purpose is to take corrective action and some of the documents finding just to make correct. And then communication, so engage stakeholder and affected parties transparently. So basically with the communication, we just engage with the other member of the investigations, and then or whatever the people who are affected. So we just communicate with them, and then review and the lessons. So the review is basically just to take what was happened and what was the cause, something like that. And then the lesson learned would be what we have learned from this attack, and then um, what would be the measures to control to happening in the future. Yeah, these are the investigation overview basically here. And evidence retrieval and analysis includes here evidence preservations and collection, deep dive analysis, timeline and anomalized recognitions, incident response and mitigations and documentations. These are the evidence retrieval. So it includes here in preservation and collection. So this imaging, and then network loss and memory forensics. So these are the retrievals which helps to preserve some evidence and like collect approximately, which definitely helps for investigation and analysis. Deep drive analysis. So the file system analysis. So basically it navigates structure, identify, anomalize, and so, and another is here hexadecimal editors, inspect data for hidden information. So the malware analysis here as well. So it's understand malware functionality with reverse engineering. So basically it helps to understand whatever the functions of the malware in like reverse engineering. So the timeline and anomalized recognition. So we can use here 2logs timeline for event sequencing, and then employee ARA for signature based analysis, and Shaku sandbox for easier analysis. Incident response and mitigations and documentation. So basically we review here about the security alerts and understand the system failures, and document every step and finding comprehensively. So we just hear incident, what is happening in the system, if there's alerts or there's some what do you call it, some kind of system failure, or if you see there is something different than regular one. So just here to report here and document them. So here we go on forensics tools, platform, and precaution. So basically includes here in the tools, platform, and precaution. So hypervisor, operating systems, forensics tools, and precaution. So the hypervisors comes with VMware Safer and the Microsoft Hyper. So VMware Safer is good with the large data sets. So basically, if there's a large number of files, then we used VMware Safer. And the Microsoft Hypervisor, it's very compatible, and like Windows, it's good with the Windows compatibility and network virtualizations. For the operating systems, Kali Linux. So we use here Kali Linux and Windows 10 with WSL. So Kali Linux is like it's a tools, preloaded forensics tools, and Windows 10 is like versatile for both Windows and Linux tools. It's basically they are the tools. So Windows 10 is compatible with Windows and Linux as well, and then Kali Linux is preloaded forensics tools. So the forensics tools. So here are some we study here. We mentioned here Warsack network traffic analysis, volatility, and AutoSpy with the Salute kit. So disk analysis and file recovery, something like that. So these are the forensics tools. So in precautions, here is isolations, chain of custody, and immutable backups. Isolations conduct analysis in virtual environment. Chain of custody is documented evidence handling. It's basically handle the documents. And immutable backups preserve original data. So it helps to preserve data, original data, and yeah, these are the tools, platform, and free acquisition. So CBE 2013 0343 and target data breach step-by-step analysis. So I'm just trying to show here step-by-step of the analyzations. So reconnaissance, and number one is reconnaissance, and then weaponizations, and delivery, exploitations, installation, command and control. So these are the step-by-step analysis for the CVE 023 target data breach. In the conclusion, so we mentioned here, like, so I mentioned here the data breach, recommendations, key takeaway. So basically, its conclusion is it's from this cybersecurity breach. Targets breach are harassment on a critical nature of the cybersecurity. So there's some recommendations, a multi-faceted approach, combining, which include technology, process, and people. So key takeaway, I mentioned here, cybersecurity proactive measures are essential. Reactivity can lead to grave consequences, while proactivity can shield against advanced threats. So in the conclusions, basically I try to mention here how to shield against the threats coming in the future, and then what would be the recommendations if that's happened. Yeah, something like that I mentioned here in the conclusion. So yeah, in our slides. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you so much.